Hey guys, good morning. So I'm going to talk this morning about fat burning and how the body burns fat. Um, but before I do, I want you to hit the little bell and the subscribe button down there so that you get a notification every time I make a video. Hopefully my videos are helping you or someone in your family that needs to hear these things to get themselves on track and to have a healthier, better life. Also, you can check out my Facebook page, Keto Simplicity, where I post videos and other informational videos and just positive things that help reinforce this ketogenic lifestyle. So for those of you that don't know, today is day 2 for me on the carnivore diet. Yesterday went pretty well. I wasn't really hungry a lot after I ate. I broke my fast. I do the 20 and 4 intermittent fasting. I broke my fast yesterday at 4 o'clock, had a meal with some meat, and I wasn't real hungry after that, so I didn't eat anything in the evening yesterday. So doing good so far, feeling good, so we'll continue and do this for the 2 weeks and see how it goes. But the question was presented to me via my Keto Simplicity page. Is that how does our bodies burn fat if when we're fasting we're making our own glucose through gluconeogenesis? Gluconeogenesis just meaning making new glucose, and that's a process that's done in the liver, turning protein into glucose. And a lot of people think, oh, you're fasting, or whatever, you're burning your own muscle to make glucose, so that's how you're getting your energy, and that's not true. Our bodies aren't that stupid. Our bodies aren't going to just destroy our lean muscle to make glucose. Back in the days when we were primarily living off of meat and animal fat for our sustenance, you had to be able to have your lean muscle mass in order to chase prey, to be able to escape from things that wanted to harm us, and so your body has a protective process that spares your lean muscle. And how that happens is that whenever you're fasting, your growth hormone levels are elevated. So when your growth hormone is elevated, it spares your lean muscle. And they've actually showed that after like a 5-day extended fast, your growth hormone doubles. And even just in like your regular fasting, even like your intermittent fasting, your growth hormone levels are elevated, and that's why it's best to work out in a fasted state, because you have elevated growth hormone. Easy for me to say, growth hormone. Anyways, whenever you're fasting, your body, or not your body, your liver specifically, breaks down lots of things via hormones and enzymes, and so your body's breaking down triglyceride, your liver's breaking down triglycerides into glycerol molecules, which it can use to make glucose for the cells in our body that do require glucose to function, like red blood cells. Red blood cells require glucose for energy. So there's parts of the brain that require glucose, but for the most part, the brain can function on glucose or ketone bodies. And so your body your liver specifically is turning fat into ketone bodies, which is then supplying your cells with energy. There is some gluconeogenesis that occurs, but that's primarily just to feed those red blood cells and those other cells in the body that require glucose to function. So think of, and I'll use the analogy that Dr. Fung uses in his reference to how the body utilizes fat. So you think of your body fat stores as like a bank account, and whenever and your wallet is, the money in your wallet is like your glucose in your body. So as long as you have money in your wallet, you don't need to tap into your bank account. So and then as your money starts to be depleted in your wallet, then you go out and make more money, right? Okay, so that's kind of how the liver works. your liver is going to use the glucose that's in your blood, send it out to your all the cells that require it, for for energy metabolizing, and stuff like that. So if your glucose gets depleted, then your body taps into the glycogen stores that are in your muscle, and when your glycogen stores start to become depleted, then you get hungry, and you eat to replace those glycogen stores. But people that are living the ketogenic lifestyle, and they're not consuming glucose, your sorry, can't think of it now. Lost my train of thought. Your glycogen stores get depleted, but then they're replaced by gluconeogenesis. So it's not like gluconeogenesis is just occurring to keep your glucose levels up, because that's not what's happening. Your insulin levels, whenever you're fasting, are low, which allows your body to burn fat. Your body's going to tap into those fat stores. It's going to tap into your bank account when your insulin levels are low, because that's the easiest way for your body to get energy. Your growth hormone is going to spare your lean muscle. You're going to break down your triglycerides into glycerols, and make what little bit of glucose your body requires. But you're not going to be going and just making tons of glucose by consuming protein, breaking down the protein that you eat and breaking down your lean muscle. It just doesn't happen that way. So for all intents and purposes, your body knows what it needs to do. It's not going to break down your lean muscle and make a bunch of glucose. It's going to spare its own lean muscle. It's going to use its glycogen stores, and it's going to create whatever it needs as far as glucose through gluconeogenesis pathway. Yes, that is true, but only what it needs. It's not going to over generate glucose. So you will be utilizing your fat stores for energy. That's just how it works. And I don't want to go into it so in depth that you need a biochem degree to understand what I'm talking about. But hopefully that makes sense to you, and hopefully that's helpful in helping you understand what happens when you're fasting, your intermittent fasting or your extended fasting. There's so many different hormones and cortisol and glucose and insulin and AMPK and mTOR, all these different things, FOXO1, there's so many different enzymes and things that play a role in glucose synthesis, glucose breaking down glucose. I like to try and keep this more simple. I don't want to get this too complex and complicated, so the average person can't understand it. But I hope that I'm doing that. I hope this isn't confusing to you. And if you have questions, you can feel free to hit me up on my Facebook page or leave a comment here on my video, and I will try to clarify if you have questions or concerns. But for the most part, just know that when you're fasting, your body is not making a bunch of glucose through gluconeogenesis via your lean muscle mass or the protein that you're consuming to make glucose. It just doesn't work that way. Your insulin levels are going to be low, so you're going to be going through lipolysis, which is burning of fat. Your body taps into those fat stores. That's why it stores fat, is because it wants to be able to use that later on when food is in scarce supply, which is how our bodies were designed to work. We weren't designed to have a buffet around every corner and a grocery store on every corner, and ample amounts of food. We used to have to forage for our food. We used to have to chase our food, and so that's why our bodies are designed that way they are. You're not gonna be making a bunch of glucose off of your muscle and the meat that you consume. Okay, so anyways, I hope it's helping you out. And day 2 carnivore, yes, going strong. Looking forward to seeing how I feel at the end of the 2 weeks, and see if I can notice a difference with my energy levels changing at all, or what's going on with the just the anti-inflammatory properties that happen with the ketogenic and the carnivore diet, but eliminating some of those other foods like nuts and stuff like that to see how my body feels, and see if I notice a big difference. So I do kind of feel good today, and I feel like I might be noticing a difference already. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon, and I hope we're helping you. I hope I'm helping you out, and I look forward to talking to you again. Thanks.